Hey, welcome to the happy hour. It's just the two Ramigos today because Rod's gonna be at that game in Edmonton. He's gonna be enjoying some Edmonton Oilers hockey. So wish him luck and wish his Oilers luck because I like them tonight. I don't know about you, Ramon. How you doing, buddy?
I'm a Kings fan, Ron, from old
I
school,
know.
but gotta respect this Edmonton team tonight. Certainly, we know the Kings aren't great on the road, but I hope Rod has a great time there. Yeah, getting ready here for our weekend. Should that be a pretty awesome weekend? We've got some UFC this weekend. We've got more playoffs, of course, and I'm on a pretty good run here right now over the last 14 days here or so. Ron, I plan on keeping it going right now here on the show and with our premium picks.
Yeah, you're hot, man. So is Rod, and I'm trying to hold my water above water there. So yeah, man, those damn Diamondbacks got me, man. The Rays got me again last night on my Diamond Crusher, and I have no idea what's going on with the Tampa Bay Lightning right now. They're just not. Maybe they're just intimidated by the Florida Panthers. I do not know. But we hit big with the St. Louis Blues on that blue line last night, and then of course the L.A. Clippers late big time. Big time. I think that one's over. And how about that comeback from the Grizz, man? I was actually texting Rod and I said, "Hey, should we take a money line?" It was a halftime and down that much, and I was like, "Hey, let's take a money line, see what happens." And I think Rod
Ron,
got like plus 12, and I got
the,
like plus 17, 18. So yeah,
the team total on the Grizzlies was 108 and a half, and they
yeah,
had 108 there for basically the last, you know, 4 minutes of whatever it was, and they never got over. I don't know if that made the bad beat segment or not, but I know somebody who had
yeah.
over, and we sat there together for the whole time, and they couldn't get one more bucket. That was
Yep.
bad.
That
Bad.
halftime line, second half was minus 14 and a half. And that's when I texted Rod and I was like, yeah, something they're coming back, man. Watch out. Here they come. And they did end up winning it. And just like Rod had predicted, a heartbreaker in Memphis last night. So yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Yeah, nice push there this morning with the SSG Landers. I got a late eighth inning home run, so that was pretty nice. So let's get on to today's action, Ramon. What do you think? And let's look at the NBA. I'm going to go and check out the injury report because I did see earlier that Brown was questionable but likely to play, and now he's just 50-50. So 50-50 on him, Holiday 50-50, and Tatum's unlikely to play. That's it for Boston, Orlando. For Indiana, Milwaukee, man, everything's pretty clean. Everything's clean and clean and clean. And then the Lakers and Minnesota, pretty clean report there as well. Dillingham's out for Minnesota, and Cleaver out for the Lakers. What do you got in those three there, Ramon?
Yeah, big concerns there for Boston right now. What is going on? Is what you got to say. We know what's going on, certainly with Tatum, but for Brown to pop up here. All right, pardon me. Let me move into this one here. Uh, Ron, I'm going to go to Indiana and Milwaukee. I think I'm going to leave well enough alone there at that top game. So let me get into this one with the Bucks and the Pacers. This is the only game where they're kind of treating it like the regular season. It feels like I'm moving to the total here, and I'm going over. Call me crazy
There
here
you
with
go.
the playoff
Mm-hmm.
game. But I think what we've seen from these two teams is a little bit different from the other series where it looks kind of like the stock market lately. Everything's been going bloop, but these guys are going bloop. That's taking one out of Rod's book right there. I think we're going to go over here tonight. These two teams, solid overs for sure, especially Milwaukee here of late. Look, we've even seen it right in the playoffs. Last game, 238 points. Yes, the first game was an under as Indiana kind of smashed them. But back here in Milwaukee now, where I think the Pacers will be a little bit lesser defensively, I think, if you will, against Milwaukee here. Milwaukee with Lillard back. He played 37 minutes in
Mm-hmm.
that game. Remember, it wasn't necessarily yes, it was an injury, but he was on blood thinners, so he just couldn't play because you can't get beat up. You can't bruise or anything like that. So you just got to be careful. So he's able to do his activities and be ready. And I thought he looked just fine. So I think Milwaukee, pretty good position here. Look, I've been on Indiana the first couple of games. I think it could turn around here possibly tonight. Might see a game, a series where we get home teams winning in these series series. So I'm going to go over, though, here. This is a big number, I know, but I think, it's up there where these other totals are low. I'm going over 230 tonight with Indiana and Milwaukee for sure here. Halliburton's looking really outstanding, and the Pacers have done a great job, and they're in this series, obviously, with that lead. Milwaukee's got some pressure here, but I think they look to keep it going here with the tempo against Indiana. Give me the over.
Yeah, 100% with you on the over there, Ramon. And Dame, that was his first game back, right? So, he's got his feet wet now. Should have a big night tonight. I'd stay away from the side. I kind of lean to Indiana, but if the role players come out, and it's all been Giannis so far. If you look at the series here, it's been Giannis and nothing else. If the role players come out for Milwaukee tonight, home environment, they want to stomp them, especially since last year Indiana put them out, right? So I think, man, it's intense. You're right, Andrew. The NBA is so intense right now, and you just don't know, because there's that little, guy in the back of the head saying, man, are these things fixed? Some of these games, you kind of wonder how they're leaning, but I would agree with the over on that one. Let me look at the first one. It's only gone down a point, maybe a half a point. I know Tatum's going to be out, but that looks to me like Drew and also Jalen's going to play, not going down to like 1.5, because I was thinking that would probably be 1.5 if either of those or both of those guys are out, as well as Tatum. But man, yeah. Boston's just too damn good, man. They're just too damn good. And you're going to give me basically a bucket? Come on. Yeah. 2 possessions. I'm taking Boston all day long. Good story in Orlando. Remember last year, Orlando was one of those teams we loved at home. But guess what? As a home dog, they're averaging losing by 7 points per game. And what's Boston winning on the road as a favorite? They're winning by 11 points a game. They actually played better on the road this year as a favorite than at home, if you look at it. So I think it's too easy for the Celtics. Give me those Clovers there in that one. That'll do for the NBA. Let's move on to Major League Baseball. We got a big slate here tonight. Of course, we got one underway. It was a little rain delay action there in Cubby Land. Philly and Cubs going at it right now. I see Walker got out of a nice jam there in the bottom of the first. So let's move on. I got the 6:40 games. We're going to go all the way up to 7:40. How about that, Ramon?
Yeah, 2 rainouts we were on to announce, because one of them was we already knew Baltimore and Detroit. Now we're getting word that Boston and Cleveland also.
Okay, I hadn't heard that one. Okay, thank you. I knew about Detroit. So 6:45, we got the Mets and Washington going at it. Mets favored 170 on the road. Senga against Irvin. Toronto and the Yankees in the Bronx there. We got Yankees 140. Carrasco against Berrios. You said Boston, Cleveland is postponed. We're going to move on to the 2 740s. Houston at Kansas City. Looks like pretty much even there. Wisniewski against Seth Lugo at Kansas City. And the Angels, Minnesota, it looks like Pablo Lopez on the mound against Hendricks for the Angels. And Minnesota laying a big almost 200. What do you got in those for?
Yeah, Ron, I'm going to go to Yankee Stadium here with Toronto and the Yankees. Man, I thought I was going to be sneaky here as that total was sitting early at 10, even ticked up a little bit. I think we're seeing now what the odds makers are doing here, or maybe the public too. I mean, you got 2 starters who are struggling here, right, with Berrios and Carrasco, and those guys have bad numbers, right? Both guys with elevated ERAs so far this season. Where's the total going? It's going down here. So I got to go under. I'm agreeing with this. I was going to make it a premium here today, Ron, but I'm expecting better from these 2 starters here and in general with this matchup. I'm just expecting a low-scoring game. We've seen the Yankees go under in 7 of their last 10. Toronto's gone under in 5 of their last 7. Now, this series is a dead solid over right now, but I'm taking the under here tonight. It's all the way down to 9 here at this point, so it's almost a full run down off of the opener. I'm going under with Toronto and the Yankees.
Yeah, this is probably a bad matchup. The Yankees are pretty much love playing Toronto, but Barrios is probably the better pitcher here against Carrasco. So I'd take a shot with Toronto plus 130 there. And the Royals have been playing very well at home, actually, as a home underdog. They're 2-0 this year. Houston's not a very good team on the road. So give me my Royals in that one. And Pablo Lopez, I don't like laying that much with Minnesota, so I would probably lay the run line in Minneapolis in that one. Let's go on to the 8:15 to 9:40, and let's look at Milwaukee at St. Louis. We have Liberatore going for the Cardinals, a 125 favorite against Patrick. The Reds out in Colorado and Denver playing the Rockies. Rockies a home dog. I like that. Freeland against Abbott in that one. Atlanta, can they win on the road, Ramon? I don't know. But I don't trust Arizona after the last two nights, man. They have really let me down against the Rays twice going extra innings there. So Atlanta at Arizona, Chris Sale against Zach Gallen. And Miami, Seattle, we have Quantrill against Logan Gilbert. That's minus 295. It's a big one there. And those aforementioned Rays going at it with Shane Baz on the mound. Good pitching matchup. And Michael King for your Padres, Ramon. So that's a minus 140. What do you got in that late action there, bud?
I like that pitching matchup. I'm going to be maybe a little bit contrarian here because we do have Milwaukee and St. Louis. Ron Miller or Bush, Anheuser-Busch or Miller when you have the Brewers and the Cardinals doing battle. Look, the starters have seemed to be pretty okay so far, especially young Patrick here, 2.11 ERA, Liberatore, 3.6 ERA so far, but he's a more established pitcher here in this one. But I'm actually going to go to the over. I've been cleaning up on unders right now, but I'm going to go over here with Milwaukee and St. Louis. Both guys have around a 300 BABIP this year, so they've been pitching a little bit lucky to have a reasonable ERAs, it feels like here, and I'm going to take the over in this one because of these bats, I think, with what we've seen so far from these teams. Milwaukee averaging over 5 runs a game. Cardinals are right there, 4.8 runs per game, and I think we got a reasonable number here as well at 8 flat pretty much. So I'm going to go over tonight with Milwaukee and St. Louis. Over meaning more trips to the beer stand. That's what I'm taking.
Yeah, I'm going to go with St. Louis. They're great at home this year, especially as a home favorite. So give me the Cardinals in that one. I'm taking a shot with the Rockies. They're great at home as an underdog all last year. We made a lot of money taking the Rockies at home. And we've got Kyle Freeland, who pitches a lot better at Coors than out on the road. So give me that one. And I'm going to go with Ramon, I was telling you I went to the AA Miami Marlins.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was good. There's anybody SEC fans, Kemp Alderman plays left field for Pensacola at AA prospect, 2 for 3 last night, a home run, double, 3 RBIs. Real good prospect for Miami. He should be going to Jacksonville, playing with the jumbo shrimp really soon, or he may even go up to Miami from AA. Really good player. He was in the College World Series with Ole Miss a couple of years ago. And the Cubs have Pedro Ramirez and a couple others there coming up through that AA system. But 3-0 Pensacola won. So they got a pretty good 13-5 this year. So we got a good hometown team here. So I'm gonna look at the Marlins plus 1.5. I love Gilbert. I've always loved Gilbert, but man, 295. You might as well take plus 1.5 in this one.
Wow, $3. Oh boy, I didn't even know it went up to $3. Even I'm gonna have to.
It's horrible. Yeah. So give me plus 1.5, and maybe even take a shot on the money line. You never know, because the thing about Seattle, they're not hitting, man. And 228 average. Both of them are really 4 runs per game. OBP at 318 to 322. Miami's pretty much leading in all categories there. The only thing that's going to be their saving grace for Seattle, and he's probably not going to pitch a whole game unless he throws a no-hitter, and that's Logan Gilbert. So, yeah, I'll go with that. Let's go to the late action there, Ramon. White Sox at the home list there. We got Severino. Woo! The Athletics laying 240. Yeah, okay. It is the White Sox, though, right? So then you got the Dodgers. Great matchup here. We got Yamamoto and Skeens, and Skeens is a 187 dog. Wow. I know Pittsburgh's horrible on the in the bullpen, but I'd probably look at Pittsburgh plus 1.5 on that one. And then Texas at San Francisco, the old guy going there, old Justin Verlander, and then you got Nathan Eovaldi going for the
the old two
Rangers. Yeah, but two great pitchers in their prime.
Yeah.
They were, so yeah, it's a great matchup in the late action. What you got, Ramon?
You called it. I'm going to that game. Texas. I'm not going to that game, but I'm going to that game right here on the show. Texas and San Francisco with Nate Eovaldi. He's been the better starter here so far. Texas is off to a pretty good start too. Yes, San Francisco 17-9. I can't believe this. National League West with these four teams. You got to throw in Arizona there is doing pretty well as well. So these guys are scorching. And San Francisco 17-9. They're just part of the pack. So Verlander, though, 5.5 ERA. He is, another new team there for Verlander, and we've seen kind of slow starts from him a little bit as he gets older and older. I don't doubt that he'll round into some decent form. Whether or not he'll ever reach that pinnacle again, I'm not sure at his age, but you can count on him to deal a little bit here, I would think. But I've got Eovaldi here looking much stronger at this point with a 2.64 ERA and 2.34 BABIP coming in. I think the Rangers offense has been the problem so far. Exactly. So low scoring game and not quite getting the price that I wanted. I definitely wanted Texas all the way here, I felt like, but here at now just $1.05 or so. I'm still going to take them. I'm going to take Texas in this game. There's no doubt there's a pretty big discrepancy between the run production of these two teams right now, more than a run and a half per game the Giants are producing over Texas here. But if these starters run pretty deep, I'm going to take a chance here with Texas tonight over San Francisco here with Eovaldi on the mound. Give me the Rangers.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that one, especially the line falling right there. I was kind of looking at Frisco earlier, but you're right. Texas just can't hit, man. 222 average, 273 OBP. It's ugly. It's ugly in Texas right now as far as, and that's what we expect. We expected them to get up there 5-6 runs per game this year, like they had in the past. But yeah, it's just something's just not going right down there in Arlington. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh first 5. It's Skeens, man. I mean, I know it's going to be, Yamamoto. I mean, you might want to look at the under first 5 as well. Nerfy as well. But yeah, I think Skeens comes to pitch, and this is a big place for him to go. Dodger Stadium, one of the pinnacles of the major leagues for him to pitch at. So give me Skeens on the road in the first 5 in that one. That wraps up Major League Baseball. You want to hit some college baseball while I switch it up to NHL there, Ramon?
Oh, okay. Yeah, why don't I do that? I was going to say for the end, I think I can come up with something else too at the end here. Maybe we hit our Aussie play last night, so maybe I'll do that again. We're hitting them in the middle of the day. We're hitting them in the middle of the night, Ron. Let me grab those real quick. These will be early starts here. We're going to be top of the hour. Pittsburgh Panthers against number 8 ranked North Carolina. I'm taking Pitt here in this one, plus 3.5 there. If you want to shorten it up, I don't think you can shorten up in these college betting, but you can get 3.5. And I'm going to take the Pitt Panthers over number 8 UNC tonight. I'm going to lay the 1.5 here with Florida State, top 20 matchup against Louisville tonight, but I'm going to take Florida State here on the road minus a 1.5 at Louisville. And Clemson didn't do it last night. I'm going to definitely come back here with Clemson minus a 1.5 against NC State. They are the number 2 ranked team in the country. NC State actually got the win there last night in pretty impressive fashion and kind of shot me down there a little bit. So I'm going to come back on the Tigers here. They got those. They're on the road here, but those fans at Clemson. So there's my 3-teamer right there in college baseball. And I think those are all at the top of the hour. So you could be rolling with a little bit of betting before we get into the big schedule of pro sports tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go the SEC. Give me Texas minus the 1.5, and then I'm going to take Vanderbilt as well. So look at those games tonight. All right, let's go to the NHL. We got the playoffs continuing. Like I said, Rod's going to be in Edmonton, raging in that place tonight, so he's going to have a great time. Look at the there's only 3, so we got Washington, Montreal. Washington 2-0 lead going into Montreal. I'm sure it's going to be a great atmosphere at the Bell Center tonight. Washington only laying 120. Thompson is in net, and Montalban, of course, for the Montreal Canadiens. Carolina at Jersey. Carolina, again, another 2-0 lead. They covered both puck lines, and you got Freddie Anderson against Jacob Markstrom in Jersey, 170 laying there. And then, of course, your Kings at Edmonton playing the Oilers, and it looks like Darcy Kemper and Pickard is going to go for Edmonton, and Edmonton is laying a big 140. What do you got in those 3?
Yeah, I got playoff Freddie is what it feels like for Carolina Hurricanes. I don't know. To me, it's a pretty high number still. I actually went New Jersey just based on the price. Maybe I think the Devils can hang, but I'm going to go under here for sure. Freddie looked good, obviously, right now in net. So back here in New Jersey, I think they'll be able to tighten it up maybe on Carolina. Look, the scores were low scoring, but New Jersey just couldn't get anything done in those games, losing 3-1 and 4-1 right now. So maybe they can flip the tide here for one game. I thought I took a futures bet way earlier in the season on New Jersey. Got a terrible price now compared to where they are. I thought they'd be better actually this season, but you said Markstrom probably in there tonight, so I'm going to end up going under here, 5.5 juiced obviously to the under at minus $1.30 now for the most part, but that's all we can do. Seems like a pretty heavy public play actually on this total, but I'm going under as my show play here with Carolina and New Jersey tonight.
I'm going to stick with that game as well. I like what you're thinking, but I'm telling you, and I've been saying it all year, they got to prove to me 9-20 as road favorites are Carolina this year. They got to fix it if they're going to win this thing. Give me the Devils plus 149. Give me the Devils all day long. Plus, they got to prove it to me.
Yeah, road losing streak too right now heading into the playoffs. It's not like you're playing, granted they played some okay opponents down the stretch, but no matter how you look at it, you're playing a playoff team here right now in the New Jersey Devils, even if they are down 0-2. So this is the series I said, Ron, this morning. I said the series that time forgot, because it seems like nobody's paying that much attention in the hockey with all these other series going on. They're kind of forgetting about this one because it hasn't been too thrilling.
Yeah, you can go 25-9 at home, but when you go 9-20 on the road, that is not going to do it, man. So, yeah, give me the Devils plus 149 in that one. That wraps up all our sports events for tonight. Let's look over at Tony's picks and how you doing, Ramon, and what you got, and let's do a little parlay there.
Yeah, feeling good here a little bit. Ron, on my current run, if you take a look at the handicapper leaderboards right now over the last week, you'll see Rod and I up there. We're combined 52 and 27. And if you look at the yearly leaderboard, you'll see my man right here, Ron Crawford, and Rod right there, 1-2. So this is the show you should be watching right here on the Tony's Picks Network. And I've got 5 plays up right now, including a 3-pack in Major League Baseball tonight. That's where I've been doing a lot of damage here over the last 2 weeks. I mentioned that my leaderboard, we're here to tout it a little bit, right? Yeah, 26 and 12 over the last 7 days for me, but it's even stronger over the last 14 days right now. So now's a great time. I'm feeling pretty good about this, and you can go over to Tony'sPicks.com and pick up my best bets for tonight. Check out those handicapper leaderboards, see how we're doing, and I think that will help you decide to get these packages here tonight. With my top play in the NBA, top play in the NHL, and my baseball 3-pack over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off all premium pick packages. And tonight, I'm going to be going here to late night action here in this one, Ron, with Greater Western Sydney taking on the Western Bulldogs. I got to take the Western Bulldogs. I'm going to try to extend my winning streak here in the AFL. Take the Bulldogs plus 10.5 against Greater Western Sydney here tonight. It actually goes off at 5:35 in the morning, so you can wake up and win there 2:35 Pacific tonight with that one.
All right. Thank you, Ramon. What I got tonight, I got all my best bets, and that's what's been winning for me, except last night. Dropped those damn Arizona Diamondbacks. But come back tonight. We'll get those three for you, one in the NHL, one in the NBA, and one on the Diamond. And for my parlay, hey, you said what, 5:45? Well, let's get up at 3 a.m. Let's watch the KT Wiz. Yeah, let's watch the KT Wiz out there in Korea. Take KT Wiz on the money line there. Hey, Erica, how you doing? Good. We got a Nerfy. We talked about a Nerfy. What was it? Which one was it?
Did you give one?
Oh, we got Erica's asking about a Nerfy. We talked about a Nerfy. Which one was it? Was it St. Louis?
I didn't give one, but we could probably try to come up with one here, maybe. And I've got some pitchers that I do like tonight. You mentioned your Houston Kansas City game.
Yeah, that one, and then Yamamoto and Skeens.
Oh, okay, well, yeah,
Yeah, Nerfy there. Yeah, there's a
Ron's
couple
got one in the chat for us. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah. Thank you, Brewers cards. That's the other one that we were looking at. Yeah, thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. Yeah, good luck, Erica. Thank you. Yep. I knew there was one out there.
All the LA teams tonight. Jamie likes all the
Thanks, Ron. Ooh. How about the Angels? Is the Angel in there too? Nope.
Oh, come on. That's Anaheim now. We designate that.
Okay. Well, throw the Padres in there -1.5 too.
Oh.
Yeah. They're 10-0 at home as a home favorite, man. You got to go with that.
It's been a great time and one of the best atmospheres in all of Major League Baseball right now. And it's just they're just up against some tough teams in the division. It's going to be a long season, not a long season, a good season. I think this team they're having some injuries right now, but it's not really a fluke here. They're going to be above water. I imagine there'll be some rough spots during the season.
Let me get back to my parlay now. So for my parlay, like I said, I'm going to take Boston on the money line. I'm going to take the Royals on the money line. And for hockey, I'm going to take Montreal. I think it's going to be wild at the Bell Center tonight. And I gave you 3 dogs last night. Unfortunately, and I'm still trying because I was at the game, last night, right? Mm-hmm. So when I came, I'm listening to it on the radio, and it's like, what's going on in this Pistons game? Because it was like 8-minute delay with a second left or something. I couldn't figure out what was going on, but I thought I had a 1-point push, because I had 1.5, and ended up 2. So
definitely a bizarre situation, and one you really don't see, and something the NBA would definitely look to fix. So the shooter trying to miss on purpose hits the back of the rim. The shot clock operator, maybe on purpose, starts the clock early. The ruling on that is with a shot clock going off early and the free throw not going, that it's a no play. So no time comes off the clock, and they give it to an inbounds play. I think I'm hopefully describing it right there. So they can't have that. They may have followed the letter of the law, but since it never happened, they don't they probably realize now that it's going to have to be changed when something should have been either, imaginary clock. You just say game over, or
117, 116. I'd have been great. I'd have been grateful with that.
Went off inadvertently. Maybe the old do-over. We're out at the 6th grade playground.
Yeah, it was a bad beat night for me. Like I said, with Arizona again, 2 nights in a row. I was like, Jesus, these guys are killing me. Anyway, and for soccer tomorrow, Timmy Tushu, that got some soccer action for you there. I'm going to go with Brighton tomorrow against West Ham. Take Brighton in the EPL. That should be a winner in that one. So that's about it. Anything in the chat we're missing? Thanks for everybody. Of course, Erica there, Ron Hahn running the chat. Thank you very much. Of course, our regulars, Mr. Whiskers in there, Timmy. Of course, I know I saw Andrew. There's Andrew. Andrew's in there, and some of the good comments, some bad comments, but thank you for all the comments, because that's what makes it good here. Everybody has their own opinions on everything, and we'll take them. Like I said, doesn't bother me. I was in the Navy for 28 years. I heard it all, dude. So that don't bother me. Nothing like that bothers me. So thanks for everybody, and make sure you stay tuned For tomorrow morning, we'll have Tony back here with the normal morning cast of characters on the morning show, and we will see you again on Monday night promptly, 5 Eastern. Don't miss it. Good luck, everybody. Have a great weekend.